It's the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. Now, behind the scenes, I'd say Eric and I buy probably 100 games a year. We've got a whole entire room. Ahmad, you know what the room across the hall looks like. Boxes and boxes of games. Well, one of the games that we bought is called What's Your Price? It's one of those hypotheticals where you got to figure out, would they do it and for how much money? So Roula has got the cards. She's going to start this off.
Who in this room
Wait, let me think here.
would take a bite out of a raw, thick chicken breast?
That's guaranteed sick. You're going to get sick.
Oh, yeah, you're going to
really
get food
sick.
poisoning. Would you not? A whole bite of a thick, raw chicken breast.
Go around the room. How many do you think out of us?
anybody in this room would do that? You being one of them?
I would need about at least 20 grand to do that.
Would you do it, though?
Yeah, I'd do it.
You're going to have like a week of it coming out both ends.
I've had worse.
How many people, Sam, do you think?
Out of this room?
Yeah.
Would do it.
Well, Kevin already said he would. I guess
Just one.
Maybe Eric, but I feel like
you
you
think
don't
two?
need the money, so I guess I would say 2 if I had to pick.
You and Kevin?
You would do it, Sam?
No, Eric.
then
no.
Eric and Kevin.
Well, say you were
Sam's like,
pregnant.
no amount of money
Oh,
would do it.
no. I can't do chicken. Chicken already freaks
She
me
doesn't
out
like
when
cooked
it's
chicken.
cooked.
Wait, what if it was raw steak then? Take a bite of raw steak.
No.
I might do raw steak over raw chicken.
So you're
the
saying
juices of it? No.
only
Still, but for money?
only Kevin.
We know Ryan wouldn't do it.
Should I change it to steak or chicken?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, if it's steak or chicken, I would do a bite of
Yeah,
steak.
'cause I had
a
two,
raw bite of steak.
I had 2 people down.
Who'd you
Yeah.
have? Who'd you have, Eric?
Kevin and myself. I'm going to write a number down. You guys can guess.
All right. Eric, for 100 grand, you'd do it.
Oh, was it 100?
Wow.
I was going to say 80 for you.
I nailed it.
Yeah.
Tax-free, right?
Yeah, tax-free, of
hopefully.
course.
Right?
So for raw, would you not do a raw bite of steak?
I'd do that for 75.
I was going to say, you give me-
75 bucks?
You give me 100 grand, I'll take a raw bite of steak, but I probably
You
could
had
probably
it
give me
pretty
cheaper
rare
at like
already.
80.
If you give me
Get
$1,000
discount.
bucks,
You'd eat a bite of raw steak?
$1,000?
the drunk, I'm not going to eat the whole thing, but I'll take a bite and eat a good piece.
And we're
Raw
not
steak.
talking
To the
steak
drink show.
tartare. We're talking nothing seasoned, no lemon juice. It's just raw meat. You're
You
taking a
put
bite
salt
of it.
on it, at least give it a little
No, you're
flavor.
just going to take a raw bite of meat.
You gotta just go,
Yeah, if you bring $1,000 here,
hell no.
I don't
I
want to
would-
smell that, Eric.
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I'd like
pass
to
on
not
that.
smell raw meat
That'd be
in the
gross.
studio.
All right, I want to ask
All
a
right,
question.
so we have Ryan said no. I said no to chicken, but yes to steak. 80 grand, maybe 100. Kevin said yes. How much did you say? 30,000 for
you
chicken.
said 20.
20,000 for
20
chicken.
grand. He said-
Sam said no price. Eric is.
He's willing to throw up and have
100,000.
diarrhea for a week, but
All right,
for
what's
20
your
grand.
scenario, Ryan Chase? We're playing What's Your Price here on the Roula and
This
Ryan
is the
Show.
one
We
I
just did it again.
teased. You have to erase every picture you have ever taken. No cloud, nothing. No backup. It's gone forever. How many people
Write
in this
down-
room?
Don't say it. Just think about who this group of.
And the
5
cap
people.
is $1 million.
All right, how many people do you think in here would have done it? Three of us said we'd do
3
it.
people would do it, and I only said 1. How many did you think would do it?
I didn't think y'all would do it.
I won't do it.
Yeah, 3. Would you do it, Kevin?
I don't
I
think
said
so.
I would do it.
I didn't put Kevin down.
Eric, Sam, and Roula. That's who raised up
Yeah.
our hands.
Because my wife has photos.
and my
Right.
family has photos.
And
No,
I-
but
Yeah.
this, the
And for $1
hypothetical,
million
the
bucks, I'm doing
hypothetical
that.
is
And I
that
would use
means
$1 million
you have
bucks.
no record of anything you've ever taken.
I'm
You
with
just
you on
said
that.
you
I
can't
have
use
to
that.
erase
My
it.
wife has a copy.
No, you just said I have to
No,
erase
I
it.
mean, she has photos of
Yeah.
Other things.
You don't need
Yeah.
I would
photos.
do some awesome stuff.
Your wife doesn't have pictures of your mom and dad and all those things.
Well, my parents are dead before.
I
cell phones came
understand,
out.
but I'm just saying
Yeah,
you'd never be
so-
able to see an
You
image
just
of
said
your
your
parents.
cell phone.
No, I
don't
said
know.
erased all the pictures you've ever taken. I didn't say cell phone.
I'm still going with it because I have 4 other siblings, and every picture of my dad and my mom, they've got the copies. I'm
Yep.
fine.
And I get $1
Give
million
me
bucks.
$1 million bucks. I'm erasing all my pictures.
one more,
I'm
just
gonna
another one.
take
Right,
it.
that's lame how
Yeah.
they pulled that off.
Yeah, they twisted
Okay,
the
this is the one that we
hypothetical.
talked about yesterday.
I should
to
have
set
worded
the
it.
whole subject off.
You can never see another picture again.
Listen, this is
ever.
the next one for What's Your Price. This is the one we set up yesterday when we were talking about kicking this around.
Okay.
Who in this room would eat food out of the garbage? And how much would they want
I've
for
actually
doing
seen
that?
it.
Food out of the garbage. The
kitchen
company
garbage can.
Kitchen trash can.
At the end of the day.
Like, would you eat something out of that trash can, the one in the kitchen? Like, would
Maybe
you
just
eat
laying
food
right there on the
out
top?
of the garbage?
Okay.
And in my head, I was thinking something nicely placed on top, but no, you got to go like it's
How
in
about
the
like a-
trash.
like a
Like,
say-
it is in the trash.
Say it's a hot dog and it's half eaten and there's like
Stuff on top of it, on the
Relish on
side
it.
of
And
it.
remember, we're being paid for this too. So if we
So
say
if
it,
you
then we got to
say
give
it,
our
then you got to
price.
say what your price is to eat food out of the garbage.
garbage.
Just a bite of that hot dog?
Garbage food.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how much food do you have to eat? Is it a bite or do you have
Right.
to eat the rest of it?
Like how much?
All right, write down your answer. How many do you think
Wait,
out of
okay.
5?
Okay.
Out of 5 people, how many think would do it?
That's not so bad. All
got
right,
mine.
I'm going to say 4 of you will do it.
Really, what do you say?
Okay, say 4. Everybody but me would do it. I
said-
think all of y'all would do it but me.
I said 4.
I said just me and Sam.
Yeah, that's what I put.
All right, so who would
Ryan,
do it
would
then?
you do it?
I'd do it for $1 million. Hell yeah. $1 million would change my life.
Wait, Ryan, how many people did you think were going to say it?
I said 4.
Okay,
I
4.
started off
And how many
with 4.
would do it?
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you
4
do
of
it.
us.
Yeah, so right.
Everybody would
but
do
me.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew Roula would do it.
It's not controlled environment. I can't take it. A controlled environment is me taking a bite out of a steak that's sitting there, one bite of the meat. I can control
Are
that.
you telling
I can't
me
control that trash environment.
If
I'm
I
grossed
had
out.
a briefcase, tax-free, $1 million cash, and said, reach in that garbage can and eat something, you would turn down that $1 million cash.
I would eat that out of your, like,
the money, y'all.
Anywhere.
There's poor people around.
I mean, $1
You
million
are saying
is a lot, but we didn't say it was for $1 million.
$1
Right.
We said, what's
Well,
your
we said,
price?
We said the cap is $1 million. You said at no price would you do that.
you can take that hot dog, put it between Kevin's butt cheeks. I will eat that.
Oh
Damn.
my gosh.
Because I feel like
I don't
Ryan,
even
in
think
my
Kevin
head,
Kevin doesn't even want
that's
that.
so gross, Aaron. Because I feel like I would get
$1 million
totally
cash.
screwed in that. It would if it was literally just like nice looking half-eaten hot dog in the trash. The trash can I'm gonna have to eat out of for $1 million is like some dumpster down Westheimer
I'll do
covered
it.
in like
we
God
said,
knows
we
what.
just said the kitchen garbage can.
Yeah, for $1 million.
$1 million
I'll-
cash.
Let her go. She already said no.
I've seen what's
She's
in that
done.
trash can.
Yeah.
Things
She's
are still
over it.
dripping out of the side of it that
You are
dried
sucking
there.
the joy out of this.
It's not. It's
really
just my
are.
own personal.
honest.
That's her opinion.
I told
Yep.
you I eat raw meat.
Right, and I
So if I
I'll eat
had
raw
$1 million
meat.
cash, I'm like,
How about $100,000,
If
Ryan?
you actually gave me $1 million cash, I might change my tune.
How about-
But right now, we're just not visualizing
Right.
that.
$100,000.
if you had a briefcase with $100,000 cash and,
and I
you
had
just
that
handed
hot
it to
dog,
me,
and it's like crap from all day, like old milk, banana peels,
yeah,
toenail
yeah,
clippings.
yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm going to eat
Eric.
toenail clippings.
I'm gonna gag. I'm gonna gag.
And who's
You don't know
doing
what-
that in the studio?
Kevin
never
Quinn, I've
know.
seen it.
Kevin
never
Quinn's
know.
clipping his
Stop
toenails.
it.
this
doing
afternoon.
man
For
pedicures in
$100,000,
here.
would you do it?
Yeah,
Would you, Eric?
Yes.
$100,000.
$100,000 with no nail clippings?
Yeah. I don't
Nail
care.
clippings.
Oh, that's protein.
Disgusting. I'm sorry.
I don't
I
think
can't.
that is.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that's
It's
die.
not protein,
I'm done.
Ryan.
I'm done.
Ew,
I'll
gross.
survive.
Stop.
I survive everything.
Yeah, that's a good
Please
point.
stop.
Hey, you can eat the chicken. You won't die.
Oh man!
Somebody
If
said-
you've ever had food poisoning where it's coming out both ends, that would take a lot of money for me to want to go through that.
Like a diet.
Listen to this text. LMAO, guys, this game is awesome. Everything y'all are saying you would do, I would be like, man, I'd do that for $20.
Yeah, why not? You know, that just reminded me though about the food poisoning. I always wondered, can you go after a restaurant if they poison you? You know, like if you get really bad food poisoning and you know it's them.
You know who that's a good question for?
That would be Adam Ramji. Yeah, he's our personal injury attorney. Ask the Attorney is coming up next with Adam Ramji. If you've got a question, you can call us right now, 833-390-KRBE. That's 833-390-5723. It's Ask the Attorney next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric and 104.1 KRBE. .1 KRBE. It's the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, and it is time for Ask the Attorney. Adam Ramji, welcome to the studio, buddy.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Bright and early. I guess for you guys, it's not really bright and early. You guys have been here since what, 4 or 5 in the morning?
Yeah, exactly. But the lines are open right now at 833-390-KRBE. That's 833-390-5723. Maybe you've got a legal question for Adam. Before we get to any of those calls, we were just doing these hypotheticals and about getting food poisoning. If you get food poisoning from a restaurant, Adam,
Yes.
do you have any legal recourse?
So again, typical lawyer answer, it depends, right? So if you're the only person that got it, then probably unlikely. If you're
But
there
what if
with
the whole fam?
Yeah, if you're with the whole family and everybody got struck, then there's a likelihood there are other customers that did as well. And sometimes we've seen this get really, really bad. And so then we have to do discovery, find out, and see. Then we find out there are other customers that also, through discovery, you find out that also got food poisoning. And those are not huge claims unless there's some serious injury that comes out.
Oh,
from
I
that.
felt like I've had serious injury before with that.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine. I want to give a real quick shout out. I've got a few interns from the office over here, so thank you for 104 for letting them come in and
Of course,
watch
of course.
through the glass. So to all interns, thanks for being here.
Hey, intern.
Hello, guys.
Now, listen, I have a couple people lined up, not particularly in regards to personal injury, which is Adam's specialty at 833-390-5723. There's a lot of questions about different subjects. Now, I'm going to start, actually, since you deal with insurance companies every single day, this is an interesting question that both Roula and I have gone through, and there's different ways to get out of it. Here we go with Karen. Good morning. Could you punch in number one, Ahmad? Thank you so much. Good morning,
Hey, Karen.
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your question for Adam?
So, I am a divorced mom. Both my kids, well, one has graduated from college now, but my other one is a rising senior. But over the last several years, his dad has been paying the insurance on a vehicle his dad owns. But my insurance company, unbeknownst to me, was also charging me because when they asked me who resides in my household, you know, at the time it was 2 kids growing up, whatever, shared custody, all that good stuff. But he has not driven a vehicle at my house. He's never driven my vehicle. He doesn't even come home in the summers anymore because he stays in San Marcos and works and, you know, all that stuff. And it was only recently that I was like, what, you know, let me see what, I think the insurance company actually sent me a letter saying, we want to verify about your son. And so I took him off and all of a sudden my insurance dropped like tremendously.
Sounds like there's been some double dipping here.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I know it feels like that, but here's the thing. Here's kind of the way that the law works on this. So if somebody resides in your house, you have, and if they have a driver's license, they have to be on the insurance, and you got to pay for them. Now, if his driver's license is registered at the dad's house, then he doesn't have to be on your insurance. So if he comes by to your house and he borrows your car, then he's covered. He's fine. So you almost have to think of it as like he's not your child, like if it's just a neighbor's child that comes over. So here's a really quick scenario. Let's just say that husband and wife live in a house and they have a 16-year-old who is on who they exclude off the policy. If that kid goes and drives the car and causes an accident, there's no coverage because the parents excluded him in a written exclusion.
So what address does he have on his license, I guess, is the main question here for the situation.
Is it yours or your ex's?
It is mine.
Oh,
okay. Then you're responsible.
So if he just changes his registration to his dad's house, then he's whenever time he comes over, he's just borrowing your car. So just like you can let anyone borrow your car and your insurance will cover it. I mean, most insurances will cover it. Then that's fine. He doesn't have to be on your policy, and he'll be fine. He can borrow anyone's car for that matter.
So you're not getting screwed. You had to do this because
it sure felt like it.
Yeah.
It does anytime we pay that bill.
Yeah. So jokingly, we say if you husband and wife have a 16-year-old and a neighbor husband and wife has a 16-year-old, if they're both excluded off the policies, but if they borrow each other's cars, then they're covered. And I say that in jokingly just to make sure the point is driven home. So if you have a child who's a college student who's gone away, and if they change their address, every time they come back, they're just visiting, so they can borrow your car. They don't have to be written on your insurance, as long as they're registered.
So I should have changed his address years ago.
Yeah, as long as he's registered at dad's place, but then you got to make sure that dad's got coverage on the car then.
Well, it sounds like he does.
He does. So it didn't matter that his license shows my address, even on his dad's policy. So I guess that insurance company didn't care where he actually.
The point to take home is wherever you're living, register yourself over there and carry insurance for that address there.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for clarifying
Karen.
that for me.
Thanks for calling, Karen.
Right.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Kev, who do you want to go to next?
Let's go to Cynthia. Now, this one is actually about credit cards and in regards to her debt being sold to someone else. So go ahead, Cynthia. Tell Adam what's going on.
Good morning, Cynthia.
My credit card debt. Good morning. My credit card debt has been sold to a collection agency, and they are now suing me to try and get the money.
Okay. And do you genuinely owe the money?
I do owe the money. I'm I'm not trying to get out of that, but I'm not trying to pay a collection agency that's going to charge me more.
Yeah,
I'd rather go straight to my
sure.
the bank.
I'm sure there's probably thousands of people that are listening that are probably following the same situation. So if you look at the fine print of your credit card agreement when you signed up for it, if you don't make payments, then they have the right, the ability to turn you over to a collection agency and then also ask for extra fees for that process. But there's really no great news in this, but I guess the so good news is that often collection agencies are going to get commissioned on how much they're able to receive. So if they receive zero, they're going to earn. If you give them zero, they earn zero. So you can typically negotiate with them. So say you owe $10,000 in true debt with a credit card company. Now it's gone to collections. If you tell them, listen, I don't have it. I don't have it. Or if you want it, I got $2,000. You want it? And then also the time you pay is also critical. So if you say I'm going to pay this in 2 installments, $1,000 now, $1,000 later, or forget about it, I'm not paying you, then you're probably in a very strong position. Remember, typically the person in the stronger position is the person who owes money, not the person who's owed money.
Adam, if somebody has, say, they financed a car and the car company sold the lease to another agency and they decide you haven't paid, and they repossess it.
Yes.
What rights do you have at that point?
If they have an agreement and they sell that account receivable or sell it to a different company, then or if a bank sells it, a mortgage to a different company, then the new bank or the new lessor still has the same rights as the prior one. So yes, they can repo your car. Now it's interesting you bring that up because as cars are being repossessed, the people whose cars are being repossessed have certain rights. So. And it's crazy because if you see these videos and we've had a few cases like this where people's cars being repossessed, but the law says that if there's any, if you tell the guy who's outside towing your car, say, leave my car, stop towing it, they have to by law just drop it. And
they do.
Yeah, they have to.
I did not know that.
They usually don't.
Great. No, they don't. If there's any type of sound, it could be like, you're screaming or something. They've got to, by law, drop the car and just drive off. So they have to repo the car in absolute quiet and silence, like very stealthily.
That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do.
Middle of the night, they'll pop up in your driveway and just take it.
Yeah, that's what. And if they don't do that, then they're going to be there. There's a big problem. And you see these videos where people like jump into the cars, trying to open their door and trying to hold the car back.
Yes, and try to drive it off of the tow truck and it rips their wheels off.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, you've seen that one.
All right, I'll tell you what. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we've got more questions for Adam Ramji. It's Ask the Attorney. Part 2 coming up next on the Roula and Ride
We
Show.
have a giveaway too, so we'll do it later.
Oh, right. Awesome. I want to find out all about that. Next on 104.1 KRBE.
It's KRBE. The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
All right, it is called Ask the Attorney, our friend Adam Ramji. And if you ever want to reach out to Adam, it's 713-ALL-8s. Very easy to remember.
And this morning we have someone who wanted to reach out from the Adam Ramji Law Group. They're all in the office listening to us, and we don't always remember everything to say or what's going on or what's up behind the scenes. Tara, I wanted to bring you on right quick. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, Mr. Ramji, this is Tara.
Hey, we know you.
Hey.
Tara?
I'm just calling from the office to tell you that everybody is listening to you. We're ready to help. We're ready to answer all the calls and help anyone with their injuries. I just also wanted to remind everyone that our consultation is 100% free, so please don't hesitate to call Ramji Law Group at 713-888-8888.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for calling.
We will see you here soon.
You guys. All right. Thanks a lot.
That's a good employee.
yeah, she's awesome.
Now let's go to Tiffany. She had latent pain after 2 wrecks, and she's trying to figure out what to do about it, even though she's already hired a personal injury attorney. Good morning, Tiffany.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hey,
Good morning,
Tiffany. So what's your question for Adam?
So I forgot to mention. So back in July 2022, I got in a car wreck. It was my best friend avoided a head-on collision on 1960 back when they had construction, and the person never stopped. And we experienced a whiplash and damage to her vehicle. So she decided to sue her insurance company on behalf of both of us. It sucked. I was injured, went to therapy, case closed. But then 6 months later, in January, I got in a really bad car wreck where my car was totaled. I had to go to the doctor. I had to get a lot of therapy, had to go to a lot of experts because my back was just in so much pain. And I didn't end up getting surgery. Instead, we did other epidurals and a lot of therapy from that. And I thought I healed, and I was like, okay, maybe because I'm getting older. However, because of that traumatic event, I decided to be healthier. I've been taking care of my body a little bit better. And I'm thinking, okay, this is supposed to kind of help me out a little bit. But then I got in another car accident in January of this year.
Oh, my God.
Are we up to number 3 now?
That's a lot of car accidents.
Yes. And to be fair, none of them are ever my fault. It's just I drive a lot.
Yeah.
And with this one, although we're in the discovery phase, because I did have to hire an attorney because I'm like, no, I'm still not okay. I still feel pains in the morning, and I'm only 35, and I'm thinking, is this okay? Is this normal, or who do I blame for this? Because it seems like I just can't heal my body fast enough.
All right, Tiffany, hold on just 1 second, and there's a lot to dive into with that, and I know this is probably a common occurrence.
Yeah, so this happens, very often. People have an accident, and then there's a subsequent accident, and so just generally speaking, what I want to speak to is something known in Texas as egg-shell skull doctrine. I know it sounds weird, but it's called the egg-shell skull doctrine. It says you take your plaintiff as you find him. And so as far as if you've had an accident and the case is closed, that's done. You get one bite of the apple in personal injury cases. So anyone listening, this is not the time to say that, I'll claim on the accident later. Once you sign the document, once you collect money, typically in a personal injury case, there's no going back to it.
Okay.
So be super critical about how much you're going to accept, and if you're going to accept the amount that they're giving you.
Even if, Adam, they discover that there were bigger injuries that they didn't pick up on. So say there was an accident and you've settled, but then you realize that this has triggered some kind of an aneurysm or something.
Yeah, I got 2 words. Too bad.
Too bad?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, one bite of the apple, really. Okay. And so Tiffany, in your case over here, now let's just say there's a subsequent injury, subsequent accident. And a lot of times people are like, oh, man, the insurance company doesn't want to pay me because I had a prior accident, and now they're saying it was really the first accident that's caused it. So just like those cases, take your scenario where you got somebody who's 90 years old, living life, driving to play bridge, and she gets in an accident, and she gets life flighted because of her fragile condition. You take your plaintiff as you find him. So if you would have caused an accident with somebody else who was young, 30-year-old and didn't get hurt, why should you pay more for the older person? It's because eggshell skull doctrine says that you take your plaintiff as you find him. So whatever you did to exacerbate the prior conditions, you got to pay for those. So sometimes the second accident is actually more valuable from a financial sense, because now you need even more therapy because you are now fragile from the first accident. So don't hide behind it.
Yeah,
be like,
she needs to work with her current attorney in order to get compensation for the exacerbation of the pain that she has felt from all of these accidents combined, and then this one that compounded it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. We have got to move on to Stephanie right quick
here.
That's
crazy. Tiffany's got to get a target off her back.
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding. Or take a different mode of transportation.
Black cloud over her. Stephanie is on the line here on the Roula and Ryan show with Eric, talking about a title on a vehicle that they purchased about a year ago. Is that correct, Stephanie?
Yes, it is. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Stephanie, what's going on?
We purchased a vehicle from basically an online car salesman. We did see his warehouse, but he kind of does a physical meet and greet for that. He mentioned there was just an address tweak with the title, and that we paid him for tax, title, license, got a bill of sale. It has been a year. He has given us the runaround and giving us the title and the registration for the vehicle.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Just wondering what kind of recourse we have on this, because he has our money.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to the recourse is, I wouldn't say simple. It's not simple, but I'm saying that what you have is a breach of contract. You got to sue him. There's nothing else. Now, how that happens and what happens at the end of that, that's part 2 to this. I don't know, but definitely if he's done that, he's giving you a runaround. He probably sold you a car that's got a salvage title or something and doesn't want to.
What does that mean?
Well, so sometimes cars have accidents and the insurance company deems it a total loss. So now this car is pretty much valueless. But there's some people said, no, I want to keep the car. So now if that car gets in a second accident, another insurance company's not going to pay that car. They'll say the value of that car is it's already salvaged. It's kind of like AKA dirty title. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's done. So he may have sold you a car that's called that has salvage value, which basically means maybe the taxable value or something on it. So if that car was worth $10,000, but the salvage value is $1,000, and he charged you $10,000, but he really sold your car that's worth $1,000. So you got to find that difference. You probably put the VIN number in, see if it's got some history on it, but you've got to track the guy down. And these are tough.
You mentioned something there, the VIN number. It seems like that would be the first path to take in order to find out if it is a salvage title, right?
That would be the first path thing. Then
Carfax.
And I don't know if Stephanie did put that in there before she purchased the car, but yeah, Carfax would be a great place to put that in.
And you can find this information out before you purchase the car.
And you should. You should find out the whole history of the car. Yeah,
we did.
Yeah.
We did. It's not a salvageable title, and actually, he's been emailing us temporary plates every couple months.
Oh,
and
shady.
We've been on the phone with an agency. I know, with an agency that actually is saying they're processing it from. I think it's a financial issue for him. I think he took the money and he has no money left. I think
so he didn't pay.
Well, the whole thing is that the paper plates are gone July 1st. So how's that going to work?
Yeah. So if it's based on what you said, Stephanie, maybe he's got a prior loan or something on it that they're not releasing the title to him to release it to you. So I don't know. You might want to just have a heart-to-heart with him. Say, listen, is it a financial issue? What can I do to help? And then at least maybe it'll come out through that. I'm really sorry, Stephanie. You're in a bit of a pickle there. Sorry.
You've been great. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a great day. Now, Adam, I just mentioned that paper plates are history starting July 1st.
Right.
So if you are, say I wanted to sell a car to Special K, both of us would have to go to the courthouse together to get that metal plate.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how this is going to play out. And I don't know. I've seen the news on this. But it seems like that's the most logical thing to do. But I don't know. There's so many transactions where people are not able to go to the courthouse to get this done. So I feel like there's going to be something that has to be notarized or some type of affidavit or something that they're going to have to file to be able to do that.
While we wait for Ahmad to speak to another caller, I had a friend get into a wreck a couple weeks ago where it was a T-bone accident. He was the passenger in the car, and he sustained injuries. But come to find out, the individual that hit them, she is a single mom without insurance.
Uh-oh.
Now, who has to pay for that? Probably his friend who had insurance and on their own vehicle, unfortunately, right?
Yeah. So, passenger cases are very interesting because they're stackable insurance. So the person who caused the accident is the first person we go after now. Say the single mom truly doesn't have insurance. First of all, whenever we hear that, I'll say, hold on, let me check first, because sometimes they have insurance, they don't want to tell you.
Oh.
So first, I want to check that. Second thing is that insurance follows the vehicle. So your buddy who's a passenger in the car that got T-boned, the first thing you look at is, if the single mom has no insurance, the second thing is that who owns the car he's in, because insurance follows the vehicle. That's the second insurance. If there's uninsured motorist coverage there, we go after that. Now, the third insurance we look at is the driver of the car. The driver the car is in, assuming he's not the owner as well. And then the fourth insurance would be your buddy's uninsured motorist. So there's 4 different avenues of insurance over here. So I wouldn't just close that out. There's some more layers to uncover in that one.
And when I asked why he didn't get an attorney, he said, "We felt bad." We felt.
Yeah, no, I hear the story about, I'm just a college kid, I'm just a single mom. I get it, but you also have insurance, and there's a responsibility. Now, how bad would you feel if that single mom, and bless her heart, I feel bad. Okay, she's a single mom, but if she went and ran over a kid and killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad do you feel then?
Exactly.
But I've got a car, but I decided not to keep insurance, but I'm sorry I killed your kid.
Right.
Who are you feeling bad for now, right? So that kind of stuff just frustrates me, because everybody's got their situations, but don't put my children in peril because of your financial issues. Like, then walk. I don't know, figure out something else to do there, but don't do that and cause issues to the rest of the people outside there.
That's true.
But on the other hand, what is the risk to me if I say, heck, I don't want to buy insurance. I have a crappy old car, and if it gets beat up, I don't care.
But you're forced. You have to have insurance in the state.
I understand fines. It could be fines. But I'm going to roll the dice. I'm never going to get caught. But then I do hit someone and cause a traumatic injury, will I have to pay up in some type of way personally, or because I don't have insurance, I'm kind of off the hook.
Yeah, and in a sense, what happened in those, and it's shocking how many times you get these kind of calls, and people don't carry insurance or they think it's lapsed. So then in those cases, if we went after you, say I have a client and you cause the accident and you decide not to keep insurance, we sue you. The only thing I can do now is garnish your wages, and I can also push to get your license suspended. Okay. Now, some people say, well, I don't care. Who cares if my license is suspended? I'll still get... They'll still drive a car. They'll still figure out a way to pay cash and get a car. Roll the dice again and pay and drive it. So there are people that are out there like that. So, but if I sue you and I garnish your wages, now say you work over here. Now I find out where you're banking at. I can, every time you get a paycheck, I'm getting that. But I mean, now you've caused a catastrophic injury and you're getting paid, I don't know, $4,000 a month. I take a percentage of that. How is that going to help my client? And it's an absolute mess. Oof. Yeah, it really is. That's why it's important to carry uninsured. Yeah, don't ever trust that the other person in the car next to you has insurance. So you've got to carry your own insurance.
So then you're completely covered.
Completely covered. Yeah, for you and your family. And some people say, "Well, I drive an old car." I'm like, doesn't matter. Do you love the people? Or you love the car. It's for the people, not for the car.
Absolutely, Adam. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
By the way, if somebody wants to reach out to you, what are the different ways?
Super easy number 713 all 8s. You can also text us. Some people don't want to call. They want to text, so 713-888-8888. And also for July, I want to say Happy July 4th to everybody out there. We've got a giveaway. We're giving away 10 Uber gift cards valued at $20. And the way to get that is take a picture of one of our billboards, post it on Instagram, and tag us. So super easy. Picture, post, tag.
Tagging at
Ramji Law. So tag us at Ramji Law, and you get it, and you're entered to win a $20 Uber gift card. So I want people to be safe out there, particularly for July 4th.
Thank you so much, Adam. It's always an eye opener with you. Now coming up next, if you missed,
guys.
Roses. Ooh, man, Sam got to catfish again. Was she successful? You're going to find out next on 104.1 KRBE.